Alright, we just got the new DRZ home. I've just been tinkering with it a little bit, getting things adjusted. Went ahead and took off the reflectors where the rear license plate is, and just adjusted the clutch lever and brake lever and the mirrors. Looks like the mirrors are going to be really nice, as well as the handlebars. So let's go ahead and throw this inside. Walk past all the other toys. We're running out of room, and I gotta say, I think the mirrors will actually be pretty usable on the stock setup here. Generally speaking, usually have to change those out right away because you can't really see anything. My shoulder blocks most of it. But with the handlebars so wide, I don't think this bike even needs handlebars. All the Supermotos we have doesn't have a gear indicator, so that'll be really nice. We'll have to learn how to adjust the clock. Let's just do the modes that it's in and see how she rides. Ooh, feels light so far. Oh, too excited. Let's try out. Yeah, putting in neutral is pretty easy. Forgot to buckle my helmet. That's the awesome thing about Supermotos, is they're so nimble. But yeah, here's the new bike. It's the new DRZ4SM. The DRZ400, they didn't change for over 20 years. And this is their new version. It's got upgraded suspension, slipper clutch, revised motor, and pretty much everything about it's changed. So it's basically a whole new bike, and I gotta say that it definitely isn't top heavy. It feels real light, like my 450, my CRF 450L. Feels really similar to that, but definitely, yeah, comfortably cruising at 55, no problem. I won't take it on the highway and stuff yet because I'm still breaking it in. As you can see, I only got 2 miles on it. This is the first 2 miles, so don't want to push it too much. Let it break in smooth. I won't be doing the full break-in of what Suzuki calls for because it's kind of crazy. The first 500 miles it says don't give more than half throttle, and for the first 1,000 miles don't give more than 3/4 throttle, which is just unrealistic. For nobody's really going to do that. Transmission sounds good. It seems smooth. It's rocky right there. Be careful. It's got a good grunt. Just kind of did that at a higher gear. It still had the power to pull pretty good. Some other things, freebie mods that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be removing the rubber in the foot pegs. I'll be taking those off to get better feel. I can already tell just going around turns and stuff. It'd be nice to have a little bit better feel getting rid of that rubber. But for those who commute on the bike or looking for a more comfortable ride, the rubber does feel pretty good on the pegs. Handlebars are definitely wide. It's really comfortable. It's not like not a bad bend either. You know, some of them, they're like, and part of our break-in, we'll like go for a short ride and then I'll turn off the bike, let it cool down, kind of do some heat cycles with the bike. I'm gonna try and not floor it for at least the first couple rides, let it break in. But I think the heat cycle thing is definitely a good consideration to do. The first oil change is 600 miles, so we will be doing that once I get back from the tail. We got a small bore rally trip coming up, basically a giant rally for all Groms and small bore motorcycles. But it's a really cool event, and there'll be like 5,000 Groms just in Gallenberg and throughout Gallenberg, through Townsend, and all the way to the tail of the Dragon. They'll be all over the place. I'd say the seat's pretty uncomfortable so far. It's definitely pretty hard. But man, does it feel super light. That's like my favorite thing about the 450 is it feels like a bicycle, but it's got, you know, crazy power. And I'll be real interested to see what kind of power this thing puts out once we get the pipe, and once somebody figures out how to flash the ECU. That'll be really interesting. And one of my other buddies has a older DRZ that's piped and is rejetted and everything, so it'll be good to compare the two. Just do a quick look at the bike and we'll see if we can switch out of those modes. Yeah, the color is way cooler in person. It matches our other new toy that we got. I haven't done a video on yet, but it matches it perfectly. It's like powder blue. But yeah, the tires feel good. Let's see, this is a more traditional, or actually this is kind of like my 450. It's a 140 rear and a 120 front. Looks like a UFO-y kind of, or alien with the single headlight. I think it looks sweet. I love the color. And yeah, it's feeling great so far. We picked this color because it's more unique and kind of stands out more than the white and blue. The white and blue is kind of the same as the old DRZ, so I thought it'd be cool to try out a different, whole new color. Alright, we let the bike cool down. I think this is pretty cool too. You actually don't have to hold the start button. So watch this, you can just push the start button and it turns it over until the engine starts. So that's pretty neat. It stays in the last mode that you set it in. You can see how the bike is in A mode. Oh yeah, it's definitely peppier. Oh. Alright, A mode's way more fun. Oh, that's feeling pretty good. Yeah, just rolling on the throttle, it does feel way peppier in A mode. This seems like, yeah, like the perfect commuter bike if you're looking to keep it stock. Just running around town, this feels really nice. Just even in like 5th gear there, it pulls a little bit more than I expected it to. I thought it'd feel kind of sluggish, it being just a stock 400 with you know, no pipe or nothing. I don't have much experience on the old DRZ, so I might have to drive my buddies to get a better comparison of that. But we'll definitely be racing them once I do get it piped, or we'll race them before, but once we pipe it and stuff, I think it'll be really interesting to see whether the new DRZ or the old DRZ is faster. I think the new DRZ is going to be faster, but we'll just have to wait and see. We do have the Yoshi on order, so we'll be in the first batch of Yoshi pipes whenever they decide to make them. Let's go see if Dad's home. He can check out the new bike. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Super smooth, and it feels like the 450, like throwing it around.
Oh, it feels lighter there.
Yeah, it feels way lighter. Horn works. Alright, so maybe I messed up earlier when I was saying I can't switch modes. Let's see, if I let off the throttle. Okay, if I let off the throttle, I can switch modes. Yeah, the shifting feels good. It gets into neutral easy. That's what I was wondering, is because some of the bikes like our Grom and a couple of the other bikes that we got, it's kind of hard to get it into neutral. But this bike is super easy. And that was another thing they said in the manual, is to actually don't keep a constant RPM and don't let it idle for forever. ECU flash, it looks like More Mafia is working on seeing if he can flash them, so that'll be interesting to see what he finds out. If we can just get away with a flash, because our CRF 450L, we actually had to I think they have flashes for it now, but we actually had to swap ECUs, so that was really expensive, whereas just an ECU flash is maybe a couple $100 versus an all new ECU is, you know, $700-800. But nah, it's super fun. It's so smooth compared to our other supermotos that we've converted. We've got the 650 supermoto conversion and the 450 supermoto conversion. We've also had the CRF 250L. Now it's a 300, but we had the 250L and we supermoto converted that, and that's really what got us into supermotos in general, because even at a lower power bike like that, it's still just a blast to run around on. And another thing I wanted to touch on too is the seat height. I'm about 6 foot tall and I can easily flat foot the bike. But yeah, we got 3 different power modes. It's got A, B, and C. I've tried A and B. A mode's, yeah, obviously the one that I'm most interested in, because that's the full power mode. And then it's got several different traction control modes, one of which that you can actually turn off the traction control fully. I can smell the bike breaking in. The new bike smell, as we've got 20 miles on it. And in a future video we'll do adjustments on the suspension. But for today, yeah, we'll just remove a couple things and see how she looks. All right, we just got back from our ride on the new DRZ4SM. I've been pretty impressed with it so far. A lot of the things that, you know, every other bike that we've had, there's things that you need right away. Like, you know, the handlebars are always super tiny, but these are great. The mirrors are awesome. The clutch feels super light, and the weight seems really low on the bike. So it feels really light, even though it's as heavy or close to as heavy as the XR650L. So I think that's really cool. I didn't expect that. I thought it'd be a little bit more sluggish turning, but it feels just as light as the CRF 450L I have over there. And the digital display is pretty sweet with the gear indicator and everything. I think that's super cool. We're gonna be removing the rubber from the foot pegs tonight. That's definitely a must for guys who are interested in more of a canyon riding, aggressive riding. That way you have better feel for the bike. Whereas with the rubber, it's just more comfortable for cruising around. So they're really easy to take on and off. So we'll go through that. But I prefer no rubber on the pegs, just to be able to feel the bike more going through turns. That's what we'll do tonight. But tomorrow we're going to dive into the reflectors on the front and remove a couple other things off the bike to see how much weight loss we can get. And we'll do it again once the pipe comes in and everything, because I think we'll lose a lot of weight with the catalytic converter on the pipe here. I think losing that's going to really help with weight loss on the bike. But you know, like I said, it feels really light. It feels really smooth. I've been really impressed with it so far. Gripe would be maybe the seat, you know, isn't super comfortable, but it's better than some of the other seats on a lot of the other bikes that we have. Let's go ahead and take off the rubber from the foot pegs, and then we'll do a full walk around of the bike. All right, and while we're taking off the rubber from the foot pegs, I did want to mention that a lot of the bolts on the bike are 8mm, so it's kind of nice not having a million different sockets to mess with if you're just doing little quick stuff like this. And speaking of 8mm, the bolts under the rubber on the peg is an 8mm. But yeah, you can see here that it's just one bolt, just a 8mm. So that'll give us a lot more feel of the bike as we're going through turns. That's like one of the first things I do on pretty much every bike I have. And then another thing that I found that was really interesting was the gross vehicle weight rating. It's 10 pounds higher on the Supermoto over the just the S, which is their dual sport version. Gross vehicle weight rating for the 4SM is 750 pounds. So you'd have to subtract the weight of the bike, which is 340, and that'll give you 410 pounds, which would be like the max capacity all loaded up with you, passengers, and gear, or whatever else you're bringing with you. So I thought that was really high. I didn't kind of expect that, but it's a good thing for those who are looking to carry a passenger on the bike. It's definitely going to be a lot higher than most. For instance, my CRF450L, it only has like a weight capacity or rider capacity of like 220. So that's why it doesn't even have rear pegs, because it's not designed to carry a passenger. All right, and to close out the video, I thought it'd be cool just to do a quick, slow walk around of the bike. That way people can take a closer look at some things that they might be interested in and just kind of get a better grip on what the bike's all about. All right, well, I appreciate you guys watching my first day with the new DRZ4SM. Bike's super cool so far. Really happy with it. We got plenty more to do and plenty more to test out. So if you're interested in seeing more DRZ content, definitely subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.